Good evening. Thank you so much for joining me today on Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. I'm super excited to have you join me today. And of course, I'm streaming to you live on radio and TV at Reading 93.7 FM and Silverbed News 24, which you can watch on StarTimes channel 109 or stream on our website at silverbednews24.com. Deep Waters is where we shake the waters on topical issues, on real life stories, on gray areas, controversial topics, real life stories, and more. You know how we do it now. And today we're shaking the waters on the topic surrogacy. Should surrogacy be legalized in Nigeria? So, definitely surrogacy, before I even break it down into what it is, surrogacy is not entirely prohibited in Nigeria, but there's no legislation saying, oh, it has been, agreed on, or there's no bill out there saying, oh, it's legal. So that's why we're actually talking about it. For those of you who are hearing the word for the first time, surrogacy is when another woman carries a child for someone else. As simple as that. It can be traditional surrogacy. It can be gestational surrogacy. The traditional one is the one they use the woman's egg and the man's sperm, definitely. And then the gestational is when you use the egg from the mother, the real biological mother. Say you have a man and a woman together, you take the egg from the woman and the sperm from the man, and then you put it in another woman to have a child. That's gestational. But the traditional one definitely is the one that's just, you take from the man and take from the woman who's supposed to carry the baby, leaving the biological mother out of the situation or equation. As surrogacy becomes more widespread in today's world, many countries have enacted legislations to regulate surrogacy. But Nigeria, of course, is not one of this country, and that's why we're talking about this today. I heard of a story recently that I heard of a story recently of where a surrogate mother ran away with twin baby boys. So they had an agreement with the father and the mother, and then I don't know if it was gestational or traditional, but she carried the baby for 9 months, gave birth to twins, and absconded with the babies, and that became an issue. And if that happens in Nigeria, there isn't going to be any rule or anything protecting the parents of the baby or the child, or even protecting the surrogate mother, because it hasn't been legalized. Anyways, the woman later started to say things like, I had the baby and nobody took care of the baby. I fended for the baby. I paid for the bills and the antenatals and all that. So why should they take my baby after, even though we agreed together? So don't get it twisted, right? Surrogacy has helped a lot of families to have children, to have a family. But again, why is it just the poor women or those who can make ends meet that are actually surrogates? Surrogacy has actually become something like a trend amongst rich couples. They do it because they don't have time. We know Ronaldo has about 3 surrogate children from surrogate mothers, and we can mention a couple of celebrities like that it feels like they don't have time anymore. The rich don't have time, so they push it to the poor because they need the money. So what motivates a woman to actually become a surrogate? Is it poverty, money, humanity? Can there really be a price for childbirth, knowing that a woman can actually die, giving birth to a baby? Research has shown that majority of women who become surrogates are poor. And why is adoption not an option right here in Nigeria? And why are we not taking that option more? Why do we feel like we have to do the IVFs and actually have surrogate women or mothers? And what do men really think about surrogacy and surrogates? Today on the show, that's what we're breaking down on Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. And of course, I'm not doing this alone. I'm doing this with a guest in the studio. My special guest, you can call her the Afrocentric Pelumi Buhari. She's a multi-talented host, TV host, actor, presenter, content creator, dancer. I don't know why I said dancer, but not officially, but she's a dancer. She has co-hosted Moment Z talk show on Ebony Live TV. She's the host of Bollywood's Dance Ninja competition in 2022. And of course, we're looking forward to the 2023 edition. And of course, she's the host of Better Talk on Wazobia. She has featured in quite a number of TV series and movies and skits. and I can't wait to have her on the show. I mean, she's already here, so let's even get straight to it.
I'm already here. When you said you can't wait to have me, I was like, am I going to travel and come back?
maybe you're going to travel and come back. We never know.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Pelumi, thanks for coming.
This has been a long time coming. Long time coming, but I'm so happy to be here.
Let's not give them the Fuji's.
They're just long.
Long actually, but thanks for being a part of the show. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. I know you're, should I say newlywed? It's been like 1 year now, right?
It's been more than a year, please. Give me my coins. I'm going to invite you all to my master class.
We are so sorry, ma. We are very sorry. We are sorry. We know we are still single. We have to respect. Give you your 1 year. Even if it's 1 month, we have to give it to you. How's it been though?
I mean, it's been amazing. It's been a journey. It's been an experience, but it's been overall amazing.
How long do you guys? I know you guys have been dating since we're in school.
Yeah. So we're actually classmates. We did our masters together. So we started dating 2015.
Wow.
And then we now got married 2021.
Because I remember when I saw the proposal thing, you're like, since when? Like something that we have been expecting.
Like, finally.
Finally.
Oh my gosh, yo. See, I still tell people like, so there was I expected that ring, and see, I wouldn't even lie.
On that day?
Not on that day. Okay. What I'm saying is, I was very intentional because I used to say that I wouldn't date you if I don't see myself marrying you. So I knew, and then we had dated for like about 5 years that time. So I'm like, you know what? I used to send him pictures of rings that I liked. This sort of don't come and bring something I don't like. I used to send him pictures of I used to tag him on pictures of rings that I like. I know there was a time that I was actually like really expectant about this thing. And then, so he's into, so I studied architecture in school. Okay. So he's an architect, interior designer, he's into construction as well. So there was a day he was like, and I never used to go to like, the market with him, Ikmori. Everybody knows Ikmori, where you can get, all these interior design, props and everything. So one day he was like, let's even go together. I'm like, yes, this is it. Because he has never asked me to go to the market with him before. Oh, he just wants to take me out. And when I come back, flowers everywhere, I'll be surprised. I dressed up. We were going to the market, but I dressed up like I was not going to the market. Because I was like, I remember that day. I said, this is it. This is the day the Lord has made. We were now moving. I was expecting that, okay, maybe we're going to a restaurant. I'll see my family and friends. We got to the market. I'm like, this one is distraction. He's waiting for me at home.
Oh my.
We get back to the house. Even when I opened the door, I was very ceremonious about opening the door. I get home
like, went to open it and there was nothing.
Everywhere empty. Babe, I'm waiting to go chow. I'm like, please go and look for your food elsewhere. Because I was like, yo, I think I cried in the silence. But he knew, when I just told him that, yo, guy, say,
was it later you just said him or that same day?
So it was like later that night. But when he was being Papa, why are you so cold? I said, guy, say you do me strong thing today. So I mean, it was a journey, but I'm so happy with where we are now.
That's absolutely beautiful to know that you're right there now. But now you've been 1 year in, and I want to know, we're talking about surrogacy today. Is it something you consider in your marriage?
If I have the money, I'll do it. Let me know, like.
Are you joking?
If I have the money, I'll do it.
Why?
I don't know. It's just what it is. I mean, obviously, I want to carry my child and everything, but it's one of those things like, if you have the money, I'll really consider doing it, and not because of anything. But I mean, surrogacy is just an option, just the way you consider different options as to whatever you want to do. Surrogacy is just also
what
an
do you make you feel like just an option? This is you.
If you have money.
Wait, this is you giving. This is you giving somebody else the right to carry your baby for 9 months, to bond with your baby, to carry your baby's genetics and DNAs and all that, to have a part of themselves in your baby.
So actually, if it's gestational, they do not have your DNA. They do not have the DNA of the
surrogate. They still bond with your
child. They do
not
have the. So you can also bond. So that's why, surrogacy. So the thing, or the beautiful thing about surrogacy is that it's not just one way. There are so many ways, and what you can do. So a lot of times, like if you look at maybe the Kim Kardashians and because she has like 2 kids that she gave birth to, with the surrogate. So she always moves them close to her house. So she goes there. She talks to the child, bonds with the child.
Really? And Pelumi, I can't believe you're saying this.
No, but it's the truth.
How do you what is the greatest kind of bond you can have, if not the one of the baby growing inside of you? So
But
I
you
literally
know-
have somebody that will go and be touching the baby, baby, how are you?
So like I said, it depends on so many things, right? It is just the way, if you're talking about, you know, giving birth and everything, you have adoption, you have IVF, you know, you have so many ways of having a child. Surrogacy is just an option that, you know, if anything happens, I'm willing to explore. I'm not closed off of it. I'm not saying, oh no, I don't want to get pregnant, or oh, I'm not going to give birth. But what I'm saying is, surrogacy is an option.
Well, you're not giving me the reason why. Why would you would take that option?
So many things can happen, right? You never can tell the kind of body you have, because let's be honest, different people's hormones, you know, change when they get pregnant. You know, different people, you know, childbirth is not easy for a lot of people. I was still watching a video one time of a lady who, you know, she's a popular dancer. I don't know if you know her, Sarah Chips. And then, you know, she's always sick. Like, she cannot eat, she cannot do anything. And if you see that kind of effect on someone, and maybe you feel like there's a possibility you might be that way, then you can always explore surrogacy as an option.
Wow, that's deep. You're definitely on deep waters with Deborah Waters. To join in the conversation, you can call in on 0705 993 6937 or 0705 993 7937. For you, my listeners and viewers out there, is surrogacy an option for you? Should surrogacy be legalized in Nigeria, in this country? Is it an option, or is it something you're looking at? Is it something that should be legalized in the country? I feel I'm still in the studio with Paloma Buhari, TV host extraordinaire, actor, content creator, and more. And I'm flabbergasted because it's shocking me.
Why? Because
I don't see
why people should go through surrogacy
if they can.
So okay, so I mean, I was having this conversation with a friend who's a guy actually, and he tells me he wants a surrogate. That all that body change that a woman goes through, the big nose, the adding weight, hormonal changes, mood swings, that he doesn't want his wife to go through that. He can't deal with that. So he's like, part of, you know, when they're even about to get married, he's going to tell her that, you know, if we're having a child, I don't want to see your body change. I like you just the way you are. I don't want all that mood swing.
Would your husband be okay with it?
So we've never really had that conversation with him, but one thing I know about him is anything that would make our lives easy, anything that would make my life easy, he's up for it. As far as we're getting the same results. Because he knows how my mood can swing. Because even sometimes it still stays in out that, you know, if you're gonna get pregnant, I'm going to leave this house for you.
But what happens to all that motherhood experience?
No, but then see, let's not.
What happens to all those body changes, that excitement, that growth?
So let's not limit motherhood or having a child to just the 9 months. Okay, what of women who have infertility issues? What of women who have to adopt children? Are you saying that you wouldn't bond with your adopted child?
I mean, those are extreme cases.
Not necessarily extreme. I mean, some people choose not to have children. I have friends who say they're not going to give birth because there are a lot of children who don't have mothers in the world.
Exactly. So why are people not jumping more on adoption? Why do we have to remove something from your body and remove something from the man's body and put it in somewhere just because?
Yeah, because you still want a child that, oh, he has his daddy's nose, oh, he has his mommy's eyes, or she has her mom's eyes. You know, to some people, having a surrogacy makes them feel more in control. Because, you know, for some people, they're always like, adoption, you don't know the child's genetics, you don't know where the child is coming from, you don't know whether maybe they have an issue or a history of mental illness, you know, different kinds of things. But to you feel like, okay, at least if I get a surrogate, or if I get a surrogate, like, I know it's my DNA, my husband's DNA in that baby. So, I mean, it's our child.
But so that they cannot come and claim the child later.
I'm not just carrying, So, some people, it's like that for them. That's why they would go with surrogacy as to adoption. But everything is an option, as is to have children, right? To have people that can bear your name, people that can, you know, continue your legacy, continue your name, you know. It's still the same thing. So I'm just saying, if we always talk about adoption, I don't think there's anything wrong with surrogacy. I mean, see Iniedo now, she did surrogacy. Yes, now Iniedo has a child, a daughter, and it was via surrogacy, and she's alright. Maybe for her, she doesn't want to tamper with her body, hot stuff. Yes. Or she just, you know.
Exactly. I read somewhere that like I said in my intro, most of the time, most of the people who opt for surrogacy are people who are rich and can afford it, and they dump it on the poor women who have no option, who are looking for money to fend for themselves and their family and feed their schools, to take that option. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's whoever is available that you use, and it might be a stereotype if we're saying poor people, but let's.
Oh, have you seen any rich somebody?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it might feel like a stereotype, but let's be honest. Is this poor person that has the time? That she's not stressing, going to work every day, coming back. That okay, she needs the money and she will do it. That you can bend her time and her will to your preference. Because a lot of people who do surrogacy, they don't really, that's actually like maybe their major source of income. As you're paying for the child and everything, you're also paying for them, giving them accommodation, giving them, free transportation, giving them clothes, making sure that they're eating healthy, feeding them well, because whatever they take in, they're feeding their child as well. So it's like 9 months of paradise to some, aside all the, the hormones and everything. They're being taken care of in the 9 months. There are some people that actually do that. If they're this person's surrogate, before after they give birth, they go on to be another person's surrogate. That's how they're fending for themselves, and they make quick buck. They make money from it. They make money from it. So I don't know why are you looking so shocked?
I'm hearing a lot.
You're looking so shocked.
I'm hearing a lot today. We're still talking about surrogacy, if it should be legalized, if it should be allowed. If it's something that I'm curious to know what the men really feel about surrogacy. Just knowing that this child actually is from 2 women. And the awkward thing about this, because what? I know Gabriella Union, she did surrogacy, and then when they give birth, we have a caller. Let me take this one. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hello. Okay, lost that. Please do well to call back. The call is 0705-993-6937 or 0705-993-7937. Hello. Okay, please turn off your radio. Take a step backward from your radio. Hello. Okay, we lost that. I've been seeing your calls coming in. We're talking about surrogacy and if it's something that you would bend to in the society at large today. Hello. Hi. Is it our phone line or is it the network now? I'm curious. Okay, please do us a call. All right, lost that one. Okay, so I really want to hear from I'm so shocked, and I mean I respect everybody's opinions and thoughts, and I respect your opinions and thoughts on somebody else can carry the baby. I just feel like it's a whole lot going on there. Excuse me. Hello. Okay, something must be wrong somewhere. All right, lost that.
But what is your issue with surrogacy? Because I feel like
I feel like it's a Western thing that there are a lot of Western what's that English? There are a lot of Western practices that we've been sitting on, and surrogacy is fast becoming one of them.
Why? Okay, so I mean, yeah. I know we have traditions and everything, but why are some Western practices that actually help us? Why, if it's novel, if it's new, why is it frowned upon? Why I'm saying that is because, now let's weigh 2 options. If you're saying tradition, if you're saying this Western idea, surrogacy as you call it. So for example, why did Kim Kardashian, for example, have surrogates? Because she had a medical condition that she could lose her life if she got pregnant a 3rd time. And she really wanted to get pregnant because she wanted 4 kids. She had placenta, whatever the name is. Let's look at Gabrielle Union, like you mentioned. She had multiple miscarriages. So definitely, let's just say, okay, her womb probably couldn't hold a child. So she goes for surrogacy because she still wants a child.
What about the ones who are lazy?
I'm just saying let's weigh the options, all right?
Okay.
So now, you're saying that's a Western idea or Western practice. Okay, if we're to do that traditionally, what will happen? It means
traditional. So you did it in the Bible now.
surrogacy.
Not surrogacy. Abraham, impregnated the.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. Tradition. It means maybe your mother-in-law brings a girl from the village and is like, marry her. This one, a womb. She's a full woman. And before you know it, you're kicked out of your husband. Do you know how many women don't have a say in their homes because they cannot carry children? Do you know how many women have been kicked out of their homes because they cannot carry children? Do you know how many women, if they had the option of surrogacy,
I have no problem with this.
They would still be married or still be in their matrimonial
I understand these things you are saying. And I'm saying in situations where you can't help it, it's okay to take that option. But in the option where you are just rich and lazy, but
what is wrong with being rich and lazy? What you can't do, your money will do for you. What's wrong? It's just like saying, oh, because I have legs, I don't want to trek. Or because I have legs, I must trek because that's what God gave us the legs for. But you're like, oh, because even people that have cars, some of them are lazy. There are places you can trek to, but they would rather drive.
So what happens when what happens when you already have the child now? Yeah, you have the child, and the child's mother starts to disturb you.
Who's like now? The surrogate?
Yes, I read somewhere. So like they did the arrangement agreement, and then when they had the baby, the surrogate mother would just always be calling to check up on the baby. Oh, how is she? How is she? What about the body changes for the surrogate woman who, you have given birth and your breast continues to leak? And there's no baby to feed.
You can take hormones for that because and
the baby will take milk.
No, but even no, but that is not true. No,
baby,
no, that's not true. So, see, the whole surrogacy thing, you have to prepare for it. Why? Number one, even as a surrogate, they need to go through, mental evaluation to prepare themselves to detach from that child. That's number one. Number two, in places where it is legally, it's in the law.
Yeah, when we say this thing as if detachment is
I know it's
emotions.
Not easy. It's not easy. That's why I said they have to go through mental. So they are seeing a psychologist or a psychiatrist, because let's not forget, you are the one that chose to be a surrogate.
I agree.
They did not force it on you, so you should be prepared. It's just like saying you want to join ND, Nigerian Defense Academy, for example, and you're complaining that they are giving you exercises too much. You need to prepare and know what you're going into. That's why you have to meet psychologists and even lawyers as well, because you need to know that child is not yours, whether you carry it or not. Now, for the biological mother, they actually begin, if they want to breastfeed, they actually begin to take drugs that induce hormones for them to breastfeed. So as a surrogate, you're just carrying the child, but then you, the owner of the egg,
you can take hormones to release breast milk on your chest, but you cannot arrange yourself to carry the baby for 9 months.
Deborah, it's 9 months, so have you seen some women in 9 months?
Well, you're going to feed the baby for a few more months too.
But it's
not some kind of stress on the body. You're taking hormones to induce breast where there is no breast milk.
But to some people, they'd rather have that.
Would you do that, by
me? They'd rather have
that. Would you take hormones to induce breast milk for your baby?
If I have the money, or like I said, if I have the money,
you will take it and induce breast milk for your baby.
And
then the breast milk on the surrogate is going out freely.
She can always bottle. See, that's why I said there are
so many things. She can bottle it and sell.
Look, she can bottle it to sell.
I just feel like the entire concept of it is just so awkward. Now, again, for extreme cases, I respect. For extreme cases, because of this or biological issues, but the times where people, this is an opportunity for you to have another experience of a lifetime for you. And I know experiences are related and relative. Some people's great experiences might not be great for some others. But I just feel like if I would put so much to go through that and have a surrogate.
So let me tell you something, Deborah, and I feel like you're coming from your own personal, perspective about this. So the thing is, let's forget society, for example, because sometimes it's society.
But we can't forget society.
No. But I'm just leading somewhere. So let's talk about. Okay, let's say society, for example. There's certain ways that society has mandated that every woman should get married. Is the pinnacle of your life, of your achievements, to get married and have children. But now let's leave society, for example. You know that probably half of the women that got married at the ages they got married, or they are even married right now, they would choose not to. but it's just because they feel like, okay, school check, I have a job check, now I have to marry check. Now, just the way we're looking at that, let's also look at childbirth that way. There are a lot of ladies who don't want to actually see. Let's be honest and let's be real and factual with ourselves. There are a lot of. That's why you have mothers who don't care. That's how you have You see some people and you're like, this one shouldn't have children. You see children walking on the road and you're like, where's your mother? Where are your parents? Because some people are really not equipped, and I'm not even talking about financially now. I'm talking about mentally, emotionally, psychologically. They are not equipped to have children. They don't even want it. So I have a friend. She said she's not giving birth. She does not want to have kids because she feels like.
Let me guess. She's a Gen Z.
She's not a Gen Z. She's not. But she's
a Gen Z that haven't yet.
No. But she just said she feels like she's quite selfish, and she doesn't feel like she would give a child 100. That's just self-awareness, and a lot of people are not so self-aware.
But if you are selfish and you will not give your 100%, but you can pay for a surrogate, how would you still be a mother?
No. I'm just using that as an example that some people would choose are not amazing parents. But I'm just saying, so also some people might feel like, 9 months is too much of a toil on them emotionally. Let's not forget that with this pregnancy, a lot of people go into depression after postpartum depression. Some even during the pregnancy and after the pregnancy, because it takes an amazing toll. And for some people who have seen this, I feel like it's okay to have the choice and the option to say, I don't want to go through this, but I want to have this result. I don't want to go through the postpartum depression. I don't want to go through the going every week or every month for antenatal. I don't want to go through the whole belly increasing and I have to look for how to lose my belly, the whole the mood swings and everything. It's okay.
Actually, childbirth is a lot. It's a whole lot. And we're still talking about surrogacy here on Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. And of course, I will take a quick break right now. I saw a lot of your calls coming in, but I feel when we go on this break, we'll fix the phone issue so that you can take your calls. The number to call is 0705-993-6937 or 0705-993-7937. And I'll go on this break right now. When I get back, I want to take your calls and your thoughts on the topic surrogacy. Stay tuned. Welcome back. This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters in the studio. I'm so glad to have you join me. If you're just tuned in, thank you for tuning in. We've been talking about surrogacy in Nigeria. We've been talking about the concept of surrogacy, having another woman, a third party, carry your baby for you and your husband. Like, how does that feel to you? What does that sound to you? And how do men feel about surrogacy? I really want to take calls from men today. I want to hear your thoughts and women to hear your thoughts on, surrogacy. And if it's something that you feel like should be legalized, if you feel like it's some Western tradition that we're trying to impose here in Africa, not impose, but accept in Africa, you think it's something that we should allow in our society? Do you think, yes, of course, surrogacy has helped families have children, and but why is it that it's just the poor women that are always doing they're always surrogates? Yeah, the number to call is 0705-993-6937 or 0705-993-7937. I still have with me TV host extraordinaire and content creator, actor Pelumi Buhari in the studio, and she's been speaking for surrogates.
I'm very pro-choice, right? Everybody has a choice. Even God gave us a choice, right? So everybody has a choice to do whatever. So I would never frown at anybody doing a choice that, even if I don't agree with it.
But would you consider yourself a feminist?
What is feminist? Let me ask you
Don't
first.
ask me
What
question.
what is your definition of feminism? What is your definition?
There's a general definition. There is a general definition of feminism.
Yes. No, there's a general definition,
which is what?
Sometimes in this Nigeria, I used to see different people with it now.
Are you a feminist or not?
I am a feminist.
Oh, you are a feminist.
I am a feminist.
Okay. So some feminists will come to you and say that the idea of surrogacy, so to say, is more like you are buying a woman's womb, right? Because you're saying, oh, you can have I can't have I don't want to have my baby, you can have my baby. Also take this amount of money and give me some baby, and get out of my life. I don't want to see you anymore.
Yeah.
So, yes, your thoughts on that as a feminist that you are.
But isn't that what it is? You're renting the womb, and it's not like, oh, it's demanded. No, but that's technically
I'm
what
done with you,
surrogacy. No, but that's technically no. But that's technically what surrogacy is. Everybody would have their definition of what they see. To some people, surrogacy is the person carrying the life that they cannot bring into the world. Everybody has different definitions.
Now that's deep.
Everybody has
That's a deep one.
different.
Let's take a caller. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Okay. So what's the problem today? I really want to take calls, but my phone lines are not working.
I really want to hear what people have.
Yes, I really want to.
They're having you in their cars.
Okay, if it's the network has to stop, and the phone lines, we need to fix it now. Please, my technical team, please help us fix this thing now, because it's a very important topic, and I really like to hear people's thoughts on it. Hello. All right. Okay. So, as we were saying.
Yeah,
before the calls. And renting womb, that's what you said.
You're renting the womb.
I can't believe this.
You're renting someone's womb.
And why would you rent a womb or buy a womb? As a feminist that's fighting for equality for both poor and rich women and for everyone in the world.
Yeah, but feminism is also, I see feminism as, women.
Well, now you have your own definition.
No, it's not my definition, but I'm just saying feminism generally is women having a choice and women actually having a choice, because most times feminists always preach against, oh, I need, like, give me the choice to do this, give me the choice to do that, I have the right to make, choose whatever I want.
Would you say it's a choice when somebody is doing it for the money? Because there are some women that do it because they want to, but I can assure you that majority of surrogates are doing it for the money, the pampering, the good things of life.
So, quick one, what is wrong in doing it for the money? You work because you want to get paid. Some people feel they might not have any life skill to offer, and I have this body, I can be a surrogate, I don't mind the 9 months. Why can't they do it for money? Like, why? Everybody does everything for money. You work because you want to get paid, because you have a skill or you have a talent that you want to use. If you feel like your talent is that, because some people I remember in secondary school, I used to have this lady. I don't think I ever saw her not being pregnant. We used to say that was her talent, getting pregnant. Home economics teacher, I'll never forget her. She was always pregnant. So if you feel like that's your life skill, getting pregnant. Because some people, let's not take, I know that to some people, pregnancy is stressful. They're like, no, I'm not, in fact, I don't, after one child, I'm done. Some people, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. They have the pregnancy glow, they have the whatever. They can't wait to get pregnant again. That's why they have like 7, 8, 10 children. So some people actually enjoy that childbirth process. And if you feel like, oh, you've applied to so many places, they're not taking you for work. You've been looking for work, and you see someone that comes to offer.
Maybe God is calling you.
So, like I said, it's all about choices. Knowing that it is my body, I have a right to do whatever I want to do with my body. If I say I want to use my body to help a family that has been trying for 15 years to have kids, or maybe it is to even help a female CEO who feels like the 9 months would affect her business or whatever. Like I don't know what.
Like you, female CEO.
No, amen. I'll be a female CEO.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, good evening. Thanks for calling. My name is Deborah Watterson Deepwaters. What's your name? Come again? Oni Abi Felicia. Which one? Oh yeah, Buchi. Oh yeah, Buchi. From where? Oh yeah, Buchi. From where? From my papa. Thank you for calling Oyebuchi. I can't hear you clearly, honestly. I'm just struggling. My line is breaking? Okay, but it's better now. So talk to me, Oyebuchi. You won't support surrogacy, yeah? Okay. So tell me why. Yes. Okay. When in extreme cases, yeah. Mm. But when you feel like the woman is okay and able to carry a baby, but really, how do you know she's even okay? But is a woman ever completely okay to carry a baby? Because some people are okay, have a baby and die. Okay. Okay, yeah, but thanks for calling. I really want to talk more, but I can't hear you. I'm struggling to hear you, honestly, and it feels like we're not having a good conversation. Thank you for calling, Oyebuchi. I appreciate. But I heard something that she said she's not for surrogacy, especially when it's not in extreme in situations. So she's on my side. I'm not on your side. Happy to hear.
They'll be alright. Everybody will be alright in this life, because you know that if we're talking about this whole childbirth thing, you know there are some people that actually frown on cesarean section. To them, they feel like it's not natural birth. Unless you push. Some people, I see as she's not a full woman. So I feel like there is always something for people to not accept or to frown upon. But last it's saving lives. last it's helping, because without CS, do you know how many kids would have been lost during childbirth? How many lives would have been lost? Even the women, how many would have died during childbirth? So last everybody will be alright.
So I'm thinking out loud now that what would you prefer if you were to, now you said you'd opt for surrogacy, but if you're to opt,
if I feel like I said if I feel like complications might arise, because even for childbirth, yes, I know a lot of people get pregnant, but you still have to talk to your gynecologist, let them know, okay, what's happening, and this is that from your scans and everything. So like I said, maybe if I feel like complications might arise and I have the money of surrogacy, why not? If my husband and I talk and we agree, why not?
And if he doesn't agree, go.
We'll wait till he agrees. We'll wait till he agrees.
So, would you rather a surrogate mother who is a stranger or a surrogate mother who is a family?
I mean, it depends. It depends. I mean, for a stranger, at least for a stranger, it means okay. It feels like it's your child. It's your child.
How?
Because a stranger
is a stranger.
You have the option to choose whether they remain in the life of the child after or not. So if it's a thing that if she gives birth to the child, she leaves. So then it feels like this is my child. There's no other person.
But the truth is, when it comes to the gestational one or the traditional one, where we use the surrogate mother and her DNA and all that too, it still somehow feels like that's the mother of the child.
So like I said, it's all boils down to conversations, communication, and whatever you agree upon, right? If I was to ever do, I don't think I would. But like I said, all these things stem from if there's an issue. So maybe the woman is not ovulating or producing eggs or strong and viable eggs.
No, that's not what you were saying before.
No. But I've always talked about gestational. Be my egg and my husband.
So if you can't have gestational,
so that's what I'm saying. If it can't be gestational, then that's another conversation entirely, which I have not even had or which I have not even thought of. Using someone else's egg, to have my child. So if that's the case, then maybe she can be in the life of the child, but not fully, where the child grows up being confused as to who's my mother, who's not my mother.
And she will be confused because the motherhood thing would definitely biologically go to the surrogate.
No, not really. So then that means adopted children shouldn't have connections to their moms who adopt them. There are some people who, from the hospital, they don't even bother seeing their child, straight to the home or whatever. Or some people who, so like there is a whole lot. There are some people who are pregnant, for example, and they know they can't take care of the child. Maybe like a 16-year-old girl who got pregnant, by mistake, and she knows she can't take care of. There are some people who actually, have conversations through an adoptive agency, and there's already a family waiting to receive your child once you give birth to them. Now, some people choose to see their child. Some people choose to not see the child because, when you even give birth, there's a way they place the child on you to form that bond. For surrogacy, the biological mother is already there for them to put the child on them to form a bond as well.
You know what I find the weirdest? When the surrogate mother gives birth to the baby, steps out of the hospital room, and then whether the biological mother or the mother now enters, now lie down on the hospital bed, and they now carry the baby and poop.
Yeah.
Weird.
It's weird, but then it's happening. It's weird, but then it's happening. It's weird, but then it's happening.
Legit weird.
It's weird, but then it's happening. It's weird, but then it's happening.
But you didn't get to answer the question. Family or stranger?
I'll probably opt for a stranger and not family.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know that family drama.
I mean, aside even
that
family,
one, Tolu would not talk about that.
No. I mean, aside family drama, it's the fact that, like I said, whatever we're doing, let's not confuse the child in the future. Do you get? So if it's a stranger, you can, when the child is mature enough, you can have conversations. Not that the child now like, is this an auntie or mommy? Is this
big mommy
or mommy or maid mommy? So let's not confuse the child. It's most likely a stranger for me.
This is still Deep Waters with Deborah Waters, and you're still tuned in to Rhythm 93.7 FM and of course on StarTimes channel 109 on TV. And so far we're talking about surrogacy with the very Afrocentric Pelumi Buhari. And yes, we're asking, are you for surrogacy? Should it be legalized in Nigeria? Is it something you opt for? Is it something you feel like is traditional Western culture or practice that should be allowed or not allowed? Please feel free to call. I know the phone lines have been really crazy today, but again, we're on the last lap of the show. I'll be ending the show in a few minutes, so if you want to share your thoughts and your comments, feel free to call in on 0705 993 6937 or 0705 993 7937. Pelumi.
Yes, baby.
Like surrogate moms
and
having babies. For them, for you, what do you think is the motivation behind it?
For who? For the biological mom or the surrogate?
For the surrogate.
Different. It might be money. Money most times is the motivation. Money is the motivation most times.
Money it is. So I want to also ask about the pros and cons of surrogacy. I know so far we've talked about it helps with creating family, helping people who are infertile, and the rest of that. We've actually talked a lot about the pros. What about the cons? The fact that you actually really honestly have no complete control over that situation. Paper and agreement.
Complete control how?
In the sense that nobody you born them now.
Complete control during or after the pregnancy?
After.
No, you have absolute and total control.
So if your surrogate mother goes haywire, I've seen situations where
legally. So even like I said,
that's what I'm saying. It's not even legal here. Nobody's gonna fight for you here in Nigeria, even if it goes wrong or goes sour.
So then that means you have to have, whether it goes wrong or not, it's all about having an agreement. It's all about having an agreement, right? So let's have a lawyer sit us down.
But this is not Nigeria.
And that's what I'm saying.
The agreement that you be writing, since we expand the signing and the one that they could take to lawyer, which one has been executed?
No, but also there are serious issues that have to be executed, and this in charge of a life has to be executed, right? So I mean, but I'm even talking about generally, like abroad and all. If you look anywhere as a surrogate, that is not your child. They will put it there. It is not. As far as you called yourself a surrogate to a particular couple, that child in your womb is not your child. That's why I said yes. In a way, it's you renting a womb. If you're renting a womb, if you're renting a house, it's not your house, right? You're just
We're not
being
just
there.
renting a home, we are actually renting a life, because a lot can go on.
A lot can go on, yeah, but I mean, what I'm trying to say, when I mean renting, I'm just trying to say that child is not, don't feel like that child is yours. That's why I said already there's the whole, you're already seeing a psychologist to continually drum it in your head that is not your child, so that you don't form any major level of attachment to that child. So that's when I mean, oh, you're renting your womb. That's kind of like what it is. So I mean, they already have legal processes and everything, that if you run or you are wanted, you're a criminal. You kidnapped a child.
That was outside this country.
You have kidnapped a child if you run away with your child. That is actually what surrogacy is. If you carry the child, if you run away with the child, you have kidnapped
that's
the
outside
child.
this country.
Outside. So that's why we're talking about.
This country,
if
if you jackpot with the born white child, the person will say, "Na me born am." Not waiting they talk with.
You just say na me born am, then okay, refund all the money that they put from your care, your house, your feeding, your accommodation, everything, even the sperm that they added, remove it, and because then it is theirs. What's the DNA? If they do blood test tomorrow, paternity test, is your blood gonna be inside? Is your DNA in that child? If they do DNA test, is your DNA in that child? How would they know? If we say, okay,
that's for gestational.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So for gestational, I mean, if they do a DNA test, your DNA is not even in a child in the first place. So you kidnapped a child. But I mean, if it's for that's why I said it's all about conversations and whatever it is that has been agreed upon. But I speak strongly for gestational surrogacy. It's not a child. So whether you kidnap it or not. So when they want to do anything, I mean, yeah, you were talking about, should they legalize it in Nigeria? Sure, why not? If it's helping people, why not? But then if it is not even legalized, let's talk about, kidnap. You can file for kidnapped child, and when they do DNA test, it's not your child.
And what if it's you that your DNA is in it? That would be very confusing.
That would be different. So that would be different. So
that's what I was asking.
What I'm saying is, I mean, so this is me asking, an honest question. Are there places where you can get eggs? I think egg harvesting is wrong now. Is illegal in Nigeria.
I think so too. But
it's illegal in Nigeria.
Yes, but I think there are places you can actually, not in this place in Nigeria, maybe low key in Nigeria, but there are places where you can actually, get eggs.
Because I would say that
which is not even that's another topic entirely.
Yeah, so that why why I'm saying
eggs for years.
So why I'm saying that is some people
for the child.
I mean, the doctors that advise it, they'll tell you the pros and cons.
Let the doctors go and sit down somewhere.
They'll tell you
they tell you that the egg you want to use for you has been frozen for 5 years.
As far as it's working, when we talk about sperm donors and all of that, why are they not freezing it up somewhere? Why is it just the egg? Are they not people that
against that one
that they don't have? You're against everything. I don't know. You're against everything. But what I'm saying is, so if it's not gestational, I think at that point I would probably maybe have a family member, maybe like my cousin or something.
Your cousin.
Or so that you know what, your eggs and then sperm and then you have a child. I'm just doing that.
Concept is forever going to be weird to me.
Maybe
I don't know if you have the money. I don't know.
I mean, just so that the other one where maybe she can now eventually, like the surrogate who want to claim the child and everything, just to avoid stories that touch. Maybe you now look for a family member.
I don't know. All these westernization people go. We hear people for.
What's westernization?
It's westernization.
The whole world
tomorrow
is now a global.
Tomorrow now they'll come with something. From breast transplant to womb transplant, tomorrow now they'll say they'll remove your head and exchange it and say you can be Michael Jackson the next day. I'm sure people will opt for that too.
If it will help you, who doesn't want to be Michael Jackson? Who doesn't want to be Michael Jackson?
Thank you for coming on the show. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Same here.
Thanks for joining me. Pelumi is a TV host, an actor, content creator, and you can find her on social media at
all my social media platforms, Kwelumi_Buhari. So I like saying it's Buhari without the H, not our president's type of Buhari. So it is Buari. So it is Kwelumi, Pelumi BUARI. So Buhari, not Buhari.
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 My own is Buhari.
Don't call me.
Thanks for joining me. To my listeners and viewers, thanks for joining me today on the show and for actually trying to call. For some reason, I don't know why I couldn't take a call. Because I feel like the show have gone on a whole new dimensions, hearing from you and your thoughts on surrogacy in Nigeria. But as you've heard from my guest today, Buhari, she said that she's all for surrogacy being legalized in the country. I'm still having two thoughts about it, but hey, do what makes you happy, do what makes you sleep at night, and do what makes you feel like you're a good citizen of the country. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be live again next week on Monday, 4:30 p.m., Wednesday, 5 p.m., and Friday, 5 p.m. As always, we always like to shake the waters on deep topics, have deep, meaningful conversations, and basically live our best lives on the show. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you. Have a great weekend. See you next week. Bye-bye. Bye. You're not saying bye.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.